Well, the broader criticism facing Scott Morrison is around climate change. He's known for being a staunch supporter of Australia's fossil fuel industry. Here he is with a lump of coal in Parliament in 2017. More recently, his government approved a new coal mine in Queensland. And this is why it's politically important. Coal added around $47 billion to the Australian economy in the last financial year. The industry employs tens of thousands of people. And Mr. Morrison argues that Australia is a tiny part of the climate change story.
We could close down every single power generation facility in the country and those emissions would be taken up by China in about 9 days.
OK, but Australia's emissions are dwarfed by China because China has a much larger population. Here's a graphic from Oxford University showing emissions per capita in 2017. The darker the red, the higher the country's emissions per person. China emitted about 7 tonnes per person. Australia, dark red, emitted 17 tonnes per person. Then there's the issue of exports. Estimates say the CO2 produced by fossil fuel exports rank Australia as third. There's also the controversial counting that Australia is using to meet the Paris Climate Accord. One of the architects of that deal called it cheating. The EU bans its members from doing it that way. Not Australia. It's carrying over 370 million tonnes worth of emissions. This is from when Australia came in under previous emissions targets under the earlier Kyoto deal. As Australia needs to eliminate around 695 million tonnes of emissions, 370 from a novel way of counting is very helpful. Now, not for the first time, the Prime Minister and the Minerals Council of Australia agree. It says the use of Kyoto carryover credits has long been accepted and is allowable under the Paris Agreement, but not according to everyone. Here's Scott Morrison being asked about this.
Should we use these carryover credits because we're opening the door for others to do
David,
so?
what I'm saying to you is that in the years ahead, we are going to continue to evolve our policy in this area to reduce emissions even further, and we're going to do it without a carbon tax.
So no future carbon tax, we're told, but equally no answer to the question that was asked.